All right. Uh, I believe we are live. Gonna go ahead and verify that on my own here. Um, Very impromptu stream today. Yes, it looks like we are live. It'll take a little while for those notifications to get on out. So I will give a second or two to give a couple of people a chance to get on in the chat before I start. I'm not going to keep you guys too long today, hopefully. But it'll be a small, interesting discussion. McDonald, welcome, man. Nice to have you in here, bud. I saw your comment, McDonald. This is really happening. Welcome, new sub. Love your lives. Thank you. This is really happening. I really appreciate that, and that's part of what this is going to be. Is a grand, warm welcome to all the new people and to tell all the people that have been with me here from the beginning, you know, thanks for sticking with me. Groovy Witch, nice to have you here from Wisconsin. I know you probably don't like this, Groovy Witch, but the cheese state, right? Dogs Rule, hey, from Michigan, new sub too. Well, welcome on into the fold. I'm sure you will find the MLH monsters very accommodating. Um, a lot of new members, and I do appreciate it. But I'm going to make sure and do some shout outs to people that have made this possible uh, in a minute. Rosie Things, nice to have you here. I even work in a cheese factory. Wow, you couldn't even be more stereotypical Groovy Witch, but that is very, very cool. I think we got enough people in here. Heather in the library found you through Jay. Welcome on in. I appreciate you being here. This is just going to be a fairly quick stream. But let me hit you guys with some intro music. Hopefully, it doesn't hurt your ears. And then we will get started. All right, welcome everybody to my mini celebration slash victory lap. Uh, I'll talk about it a little bit. Rosie, thanks for the congrats. Air Cooled, welcome, man. You just hit 3K today. Right on, man. Congrats to Air Cooled. If you haven't subbed to Air Cooled, he's a really cool dude. Nice channel. Been doing it for a long time. Thanks, Dogs Rule. Really appreciate it. So, yeah, I'm doing a little bit of a victory lap, and I'll tell you why. When I first started this channel, I've told this story, and excuse my sniffing and other stuff. This is kind of an impromptu thing, and my sinuses are acting up today. But yes, thank you guys very much. Really appreciate it. I know I'm going to be saying that quite a bit during this live. Make sure you hit that like button. When I first started this channel, I had another channel that's been on YouTube for quite a long time. I think about 15 years or so. I've been doing another show, another podcast called RP Grinders for about 17 years, almost 17 years. Amy M, welcome. Nice to have you here. Mazel Tov. Yes, Mazel Tov. That is the Jewish religion. Amy, welcome. Nice to have you here. Um, so, uh, the goal was not lofty for this channel. I had no preconceived notions. I don't think anything should have been handed to me just because I'd been on YouTube for a very long time. But my other channel, I think it's still at, I think less than 40, maybe it just hit 40 subscribers in, approximately 16, 17 years. Chris Micknitz, Chris Meinitz, I think that's how you pronounce that. It says, congratulations. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you for being in chat. But the goal was not lofty on this channel. I had no actually my goal was 50 subs because I was like, if I could get 50 subs, that's more than my other channel. And I appreciated every one of those subscribers just like I appreciate each and every one of you. So the goal actually was 50 subs. And it didn't take too long to hit that. I think a week later and I had 50 subs and I was like, you know what? This channel's already more successful than my previous channel. So, um, uh, you know, uh, it was a very humbling experience too because, like I said, I was not expecting it. Guns, tasers, egos, and incompetence. Welcome. Nice to have you here, and I appreciate that you love my work. And it was a lot of work. I will say I've done more work on this channel, um, physical and otherwise, than I ever did on my other channel. And that show's still going, by the way. If you guys like video games, every Friday you can either join on YouTube, but the chat's over on twitch.tv/RP Grinders. Um, you know, uh, maybe drop the RP Grinders. You couldn't find it. It's just search RP Grinders on YouTube or Yoda Attacks. Welcome, nice to have you here. Um, yeah, it wants to direct you to Roto Grinders on YouTube, but if you go to twitch.tv, here I'll do the link in chat for you guys. If you guys are interested, twitch.tv/RP Grinders. It's a video game um, show. It's very dorky. I've loved video games for a very long time. You guys will be probably surprised to find out that I played the original Pong when it came out. And I don't know how I got an Atari because I grew up fairly poor, but at some point I got an Atari. I think it was secondhand, type thing. But yeah, I'm an old school gamer. But the show's about video games, pop culture, and politics, usually. Um, uh, well, Rosie, if you go to the second half of the show, you'll like the second half of the show because we don't always talk about video games in the second half of the show. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hour show, so just fast forward and you'll find something that you like on that show. Hey, Joe Cool, thanks for the congrats. I really appreciate that. I'm a big time YouTube star now. No, um, no. You bet. This is really happening. I would sub anyways. Okay, I appreciate that, Rosie. I remember Pong. Dog's Rule says yes. I had the Pong that Pong game too. Groovy Witch says yes. I had the Atari 2600. Yeah, that's what I had too. Yoda. Um, David Romero, welcome. Nice to have you in here. Um, I am old, David Romero. Um, if you mention Pong to kids nowadays, they have no idea. They're used to, the modern gaming, which I like too, but it is what it is. But let me get back on track here. Like I said, I don't want to keep you all too long. Um, but so the channel had humble beginnings, to be honest with you, and it still does. I mean, 5K in the grand scheme of things is I'm still a guppy in a sea of sharks. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I know that the channel is growing and steadily growing, and I owe a lot of success to a lot of people. One, my wife Bernie. Um, I want to make sure and mention her. She has her own channel. It's Bernie Branches. and she does a really good, fun show on Tuesdays. Rosie, I know you're there quite often. It's basically karaoke, but we change the words to be very adult. And it's a lot of fun. King Bluto, thanks for the congrats, man. It just happened this morning, King Bluto. I woke up and I was like, I think I was like two away. Two, no, I think I was four away. I don't keep track of those things except for major milestones, and I think 5K is pretty major for this channel. Um, and I also my mods a healthy amount of respect. I want to mention in particular Jen and Ellie, pretty instrumental to helping me through this YouTube madness. And there were a lot of ups and downs, especially at the beginning. It was fairly rough. I learned my lesson about rogue mods and how they can affect your channel, and trolls, and no matter if you're doing something that is super righteous, like I don't know, handing out food to homeless people, you're still gonna have haters and detractors and trolls and people that just don't want you to succeed because either they're jealous or they ain't got nothing better to do in their life than to make other people's lives miserable. Uh, but I've never lost track of who I am. I know a lot of new people are from um, the Squirrel Squad, the people that are anti Scientology, and I appreciate each and every one of you that are new. I think you'll find this channel enlightening in a lot of ways. I have to say I do use colorful language at times. I try to limit that, but in the heat of the moment, a lot of times I will use language that's fairly offensive, and I've gotten quite a few comments saying, don't like the foul language and stuff like that. But if you really think about things, this channel is about the First Amendment. A good chunk of it is about the First Amendment, and your right to redress your government in any form that you deem necessary, as long as you're not threatening anybody. And so, I mean, the way that I would phrase it to you all is, you're going to have to deal with a little bit of that, and if it does turn you off, I fully understand. It makes sense to me why you are turned off by it. Um, but just understand that mostly my channel is about educating people, and especially educating people that have no clue about the law, including people that think the laws work against its citizens. And those are the people that I'm trying to reach the most, right? I have a lot of people in my comments. Matter of fact, I just got a comment this morning that didn't irk me, but it was very um, unenlightened, shall I say. It was a comment basically saying that you have to stand 25 feet back, and there's certain laws and all this. This is where I differentiate myself from others. There's different laws in different localities, and I've never heard, except for I think the Phoenix one and the Oklahoma one, where it is quote unquote illegal to record cops within a distance of 25 feet. And that seems actually counter intuitive to the First Amendment. It shouldn't matter if I'm in right in front of your face or 25 feet back. The First Amendment doesn't care. Distance doesn't matter when it comes to the First Amendment. And I find it ironic and funny that the same people that are telling me, that you can't do this and that, easily would give up their rights in certain situations. I mean, you you have to think about these things. You know, every day the government tries to erode one right after another, and you have to push back against that. And it takes more than one person, i.e., me, to do that. It takes a bunch of people to get together and say, you know, enough is enough. We're not going to let this happen. Matthew, nice to have you here. Thank you for the congrats, man. Matthew's another guy that I want to give a special shout out, Matthew the King in chat. Um, I really appreciate you, Matthew. I know you've been there almost from day one, and you know, your help has been pretty invaluable, and I just want you to know that it makes a big difference. People like Bluto who have been there forever. Bluto, I can't remember. I think you were Transparency Time, or there was another moniker that you went by. Jeff Ross, welcome to chat. Nice to have you in here. Um, Red pilled rants. The best way to get rid of a troll is to not feed them, aka talk about them or even give them any attention. I agree, red pilled rants. I've learned that. And by the way, thank you for being in chat. I've learned through the years that the best way to handle dissension is to not feed into it. But every once in a while, I like to dip my toes in that water. But you will find that this channel is pretty much drama free. The drama's in my camera frame, not in the chat. I always say that. You'll hear me often say that. Like if you want drama, just watch what's going on in the frame of my camera. Let me catch up on chat here, and then I'll continue my little mini rant. Uh, yeah, I am doing it my way, Matthew. I mean, you know, it is what it is. I've seen as much craziness with the true crime community. There's a new genre called crama, crama a merging of true crime and drama. Okay. I mean, what's going on there, Amy? I don't know anything about that. I love coloring. This is really, I do too. But I haven't colored for a very long time. I don't think I could do it anymore. I'm too old. I'm not steady enough in my hand to do it. I like that part, Dog's Roll says. Okay. Thanks for putting Bernie's link in there, Matthew. I really appreciate that. Back to work. Thank you very much. This is really happening. I appreciate you coming in while you were here. I promise I won't keep you guys too long. I felt it was an important milestone. I've hit other little milestones, but 5,000 was pretty important, so I thought I'd get on and talk with you guys. My Tony, welcome. Nice to have you in here. I don't normally share my own link, yes, but there you go. There's Matthews. Make sure you sub to Matthew. He's a good dude. Uh, let's see. What else? Yeah, yeah. No, don't delete the link. Leave that up there, Matthew. Don't delete that link. So that way people can sub to you. Definitely smash the like, everybody. We could get more likes for sure. Let me continue real quick to tell you guys the quick journey and to 5K. I mean, it's taken me a little while to get there, but I always said from the beginning of this channel, it's not going to be a sensationalistic channel, although sometimes there are videos like the one that I just did with the RTD security, which is kind of blown up. That that happen, and even though I say it's not sensationalistic, keep watching, and you might find something you're interested in. It's not. I don't consider myself just purely a 1A guy or an auditor or a cop watcher or anything of that nature. I put on many hats as I do what I do. Um, but I do think it's important to stand up for your rights, and I always will make sure that the citizens in the Denver metro area, as far as my reach is concerned, are safe. That's what I was doing in that RTD video. I was making sure that the guy in the back of the car was okay, because a lot of times people will get beat up by the cops, or the handcuffs will be on too tight, or they'll sit them on the ground like a dog, or they'll take passengers out of a car and treat them like a dog, etc., etc., etc. And that's mostly what I do, is just try to keep people safe. You know, so it is what it is. We want to watch honest content, my Tony says. Well, you will get nothing but honest content here. And the people that have been with me from day one or close to day one, like Bluto and Matthew the King and Ellie and Jen and all those type of people will tell you the same thing. I don't change. You know, I'm fairly consistent and I'm always honest. Sometimes, I mean, to my detriment, I'm honest. So that's what you will you will get. You know, um, human civil rights. Yes, I do fight for everybody's rights, Tony. And I hate when rights are violated. You know, and that's another thing. Um, And there have been plenty of cases of that with police misconduct. And now I'm starting to get into this Scientology thing and developing some thoughts and some strategies and stuff to combat the misinformation that's coming out of Scientology and some of the wrongdoing that supposed church has done to people. I mean, Natalie on I forget her channel, but it's really good. Rachel, nice to have you here. Um, let's see. Honesty is the best policy, King Bluto says. Down with all the abuses. I totally agree, my Tony. And I I've taken a special interest in this because of Ellie. Ellie pointed me in Jay's direction the day that Jay was detained. I thought it was really an arrest, and it was unheard of to have a helicopter in the air. And, you know, I mean, in all the times that I've been doing this, I don't think I've ever seen a helicopter in the air unless they're actively looking for a subject, and that subject that was running from the police. KDOT's in the house. That's another guy I got to give a lot of credit that helped me along my journey, and and continuing. If you guys haven't subbed to DJ KDOT the Party, he's an actual DJ too, and he's a really good one. But you guys got to make sure and subscribe to KDOT because usually where he is, I am, and vice versa. Um, so make sure you definitely show K Dot some love because that dude is, in my opinion, the goat when it comes to this type of stuff, especially here in the Denver metro area. I don't think anybody does it better than K Dot. The other day, somebody called me a legend. I've never been called a legend. But if I'm thinking about people that are legends, the first person that comes into my mind usually is K Dot. So you're going to want to make sure to sub to DJ K Dot the Party. My Tony says Natalie is Scientology Life After a Cult. Yeah, I couldn't remember the name, my Tony, but that's a great channel, and she's a third generation Scientologist that got out. Her and her family got completely out of that church, and her journey was fairly harrowing and deeply fascinating. And I'd love one day to talk to her and kind of pick her brain about the church because the more information that I know, the better I can attack this problem. And I call it a problem because it is a problem. When you got the church that has that much influence over the likes of the Los Angeles Police Department, the Denver Police Department, there are parallels, right? There are parallels. Like, I don't find it coincidence that the cops were called on Jay the first night, and then the second time, when I was out with Jay, they were called again. And you guys saw that video, and that was pretty wild. And if you haven't seen that video, you really should check it out because it's a pretty amazing video, and it um, kind of shows how Scientology has a far reach, and that fact alone is really scary. And there's a lot of things I can point to in that video to kind of make people wonder if that certain officers aren't involved in Scientology. Bullbank says, congrats, MLH. I'm a new sub a week ago. Well, thank you, Bullbanks. I'm pretty sure you will find this channel very pleasant to be in. Um, at least your time within chat. Like I said, the drama is always in the camera lens and never in the chat. Trolls are okay. They give me watch hours as long as they're not harassing any of you guys. I can take all the criticism, because. Oh, thanks, Tony, for subbing to K Dot. I appreciate that. Um, so this channel's definitely had humble beginnings, and it will never change. I told Jay, I had a conversation with Jay just to let you guys know. I don't think he'll mind if I share this with you. I told him, you've always got to be true to the people that got you to where you are, whether they're in real life, like your family or your friends, people of that nature, or people on YouTube that have helped you on your journey. The first 50 subscribers, the first 1,000 subscribers, the first 5,000 subscribers. Southeastern Transparency, it's John Eagle. This is my new channel. Congrats on 5,000 subs. I appreciate that, John Eagle. Why the name change? Just a more broad moniker, I guess. But John Eagle, see, that's another thing. I really love helping people get their milestones too. I've helped plenty of people. I've done all day marathons. John Eagle's one of them. I think I helped you get to 500. I don't know. I mean, I lose track of all the people that I've helped to get their mini milestones or their major milestones, but uh, it's it's a pleasure to have people like you still stick around. That you've never lost sight of where you started, and that's really special. McDonald says, wasn't Tom Cruise in Scientology? He not only was in Scientology, McDonald, he still is in Scientology. So, um, buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride. There's going to be lots of instances of cops being called on me and Jay and others, and it's going to be pretty wild. So you guys stay tuned for all of that and more. Rachel says they often call cops and report weapons when people are filming protesting them. It's their tactic. Well, Rachel, it didn't work on Jay, and it's not going to work on me. I'm not afraid. That's the thing. Some people have gotten me aside and said, I don't know why you're fucking with, Scientology. Those people make people disappear, and I agree with you. But I'm going to tell you the same thing that I told, like my family, because they were concerned with my well-being when I filmed the police. I'm willing to take a bullet for this cause. Literally, if I end up dead on the streets, I will have died a happy man knowing that I stood up for my rights and the rights of everybody. So, uh, let's see. It's a pleasure to watch you tear DPD a new bunghole. Oh, I do that quite often, Bullbanks. Aurora cops and Denver cops in the Denver metro area have gotten it from me quite a few times. I try to keep my cool, and here's the thing. I only reflect. So K Dot gave me this phrase: "We're mirrors, and we reflect what you give us." So if you give me BS, I'm going to give you BS. If you give me respect and leave me alone, I'm going to do the same thing to you. Thank you, Rochelle. I appreciate that. Howard County, thanks for the congrats, man. I appreciate you, Howard County, and I know you've been there for a while too, and a lot of people have been here for since the jump. I know another person I want to shout out just because he was one of the first 50 subs is Pelone. So if you ever see Pelone, he's had some health issues in the past. I think those are behind him, but give him a shout out too because he's a good dude and he's been there from the jump pretty much. So, I always like to recognize people that, were there from the beginning or close to the beginning. Another person like that's like Alan B. Alan B's my friend from overseas. Really cool dude. If you guys see those type of people that have been around a long time, make sure you give them a special shout out. And make sure you give my mods a special shout out. People like Matthew the King, Jen Wow, and, special mention to Ellie, because without Ellie, I don't know exactly where this channel would be, if it even would still be a channel. She's been instrumental. Cynthia, welcome. Nice to have you here. Um, really appreciate you. Joshua Martin, what's up from Nashville, Tennessee? Welcome. Nice to have you on board. Stop all abuses, my Tony says. Yes, that's one thing about Scientology that really bothers me, is the abuses, right? The human trafficking, the child labor problem that they have, the money laundering and other nefarious things going on with that church. Theft. I mean, they've stolen plenty of people's money. You know, and those are things that I can't stand. Scammers. I think they're big time scammers. Jay has on his little mini billboard cardboard thing that he has, that Scientology is a scam. I've been scammed before for literally thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, and it hurts, and it hurts you financially and mentally, and it makes you physically sick. And that's what these people do on a consistent basis. So, um, it's not an easy thing to combat a lot of this stuff. They're very secretive. I've noticed that. They've got their reach is wide. Maybe not as wide as what they want you to believe, but they definitely have plenty of money. And anytime an organization has plenty of money, i.e., the Denver Police Department or the cult of Scientology or any number of other nefarious organizations, it's really hard to take down that organization. And it takes a lot of people, a lot of time and energy to gather the facts and information to make a move on those type of organizations. I can't do this all alone. Jay can't do it all alone. But hopefully, with more awareness and a lot of videos to uncover the truth. I know Natalie does a great job over on her channel. I know DOA did a very, very cool, I don't know if you want to call it a tribute video to me. That was really awesome. I got to give him a quick shout out. I'm glad he's out of jail now. Hopefully he got his van back. Streets LA is doing fine work out in LA. I know those guys have been dealing with a lot of nonsense. And a lot of it is echoed here in a little bit of a smaller way, but I think it's kind of growing in Denver. But I'm at the forefront of that movement to kick the shit out of Scientology and make sure that they understand who's really in charge here. And it ain't them. And it ain't the Denver Police Department. Uh, you know. Um, so a lot of good work being done out there. I know there's another channel. I think her name is Pearl Snappy, who's doing great work on the other side of the country. I believe she's out of Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. Um, yeah, definitely a lot of money, Rachel says. Clearwater, Florida resident, Scientology has brought a huge chunk of downtown Clearwater headquarters is 1 block from the police station, Jeff Ross says. Yeah, I know. Clearwater is like the epicenter of it all. Snoozeroonie says, F Sciento. Yeah, thanks for being in chat, Snoozeroonie, and I couldn't agree with you more. McDonald says it's hard because you're facing organized crime. I agree, McDonald. I totally agree. Look at Tom Cruise. He was with that BS. His wife left him and made sure he did see his kid. Yeah, it's crazy. MLH, I will be at the org later this week, TCD says. Awesome, TCD. You can email me anytime. Let me know when you're going to be there, and then I will try to get my butt up there when you're there. and help you out as much as I can. It's a natural, I think this is kind of a natural melding here of two communities, right? The 1A community and the Squirrel Squad. The monsters and the squad are very strong together. And I think it's a natural fit for somebody like me and Jay to be out there protesting. One person that really knows his stuff on Scientology and is still learning, he'll tell you himself, I'm still, trying to learn even more, just like I am. And then me knowing how to handle the police out there. Um, you know, a lot of these protesters don't know their rights, and they get stomped on all the time. So I'm just there to make sure that it's peaceful, and that the rights aren't violated. It does take a lot of people, buddy. That's why we need you too. Stopping all abuses, Scientology first and foremost. It's the cliche village that no one ever uses, so let's use it. It's a village right here. Yeah, we have tons of people now, don't we, Tony? Mm. Yep. I'm trying. I'm trying, Tony, my best. I want to put as much emphasis on exposing BS where I find it. It's not just Scientology. I mean, you'll find a lot of interesting things on this channel. I mean, I will do investigations. I uncovered um, a big time problem with the Aurora Police Department in their hiring practices, and in their disciplinary practices, in their training practices. I mean, you'll find a lot of interesting things on my channel if you dig. I mean, I've done plenty of videos. Pearl Snappy's in Austin. Yeah, I forgot where she was, but she's great. Pearl Snappy's a really cool channel to follow, yeah, especially if you're interested in exposing the cult for what it is. It really is a cult. Natalie, I would love to do an interview. That's another thing that I do very well, is interview and report. I would love to do an interview with Natalie. So if some of you want to let her know, that I'm always willing to. I want to interview her. I know she's usually the one that's doing the interviewing, but I'm pretty good at that myself, and I would love to, to talk to her. Rosie says, "Got to go chop down some trees and such." See you all around in the chat. See you later, Rosie. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate you. Communities unite, Tony says. Yes, I agree. Part of what I do, try to do, and some people may disagree with this because of my use of foul language at times and my surliness at times, is I really do try to bridge the gap, right? I've had meetings with chiefs of police here, um, to try to get a better understanding of where the police mindset is, right? And in all my travels and my studying and observing and all of that, I've come to the conclusion, and this is rather true. When police are trained, they're trained that it's us versus them. And in my view, that is completely wrong. If you're going into your training and you're thinking that everybody is a criminal and it's us versus them, well, then you've already lost. You've already have made the statement to the public that you aren't going to treat them right because everybody is the same. And it simply isn't true. There are people there. I truly believe that the vast majority of people are good natured. They're well intentioned. And because otherwise we wouldn't be here 8 billion strong. It's on this earth. It just, it blows my mind that everybody thinks that every stranger is stranger danger, and don't talk to anybody and all of this stuff, because they'll something nefarious is going to happen to you. It drives me nuts when people talk about stranger danger to their kids, right? Nobody wants their kids snatched up. I have two kids, right? And one is an adult and one is very close to being an adult. And I never worried about stranger danger, right? The vast majority of people are good. I'm not saying that kids don't get snatched up and, stuff, happens to kids and stuff, but my broader point is the broader scope of things, people are good and well intentioned. It's not, everybody's not out to get everybody else. We're not all here, trying to take what everybody's got. We'll leave that to the government. The government tries to do that, right? They try to take away benefits and tax you more and do these type of things. And those are discussions to be had, but not everybody is a terrorist, right? We can't just assume. People are very jaded. Amy says, "Yes, I agree. I would love to see you interview Natalie. I might be able to set something up. Tony, hey, let her know. I would love to have her on over anytime. I don't know her email. Maybe we can exchange emails. I follow true crime, so I am overprotective. Yeah, Amy, I understand. If you listen to MSM, the mainstream media, as the 1A community calls it, the lamestream media, you should be afraid according to their narrative, right? But all in all, these things mostly don't happen. Otherwise, we wouldn't be 8 billion strong on this planet, right? I think in the United States we have 650 million people, last I checked, in the US. And if you look at the crime statistics, even though there is quite a bit of crime across the board, it's almost insignificant if you take into account the amount of people that we have in this country. But to that effect, I think part of the problem again is with the police because in the entire country, if you add up all the crime, the amount of crime that the police solve is around 2%. It might have went up just slightly, but it's around 2% or so. And I always tell people, if you were to do your job 2%, if you guys came on this channel and you saw that I was doing 2% of what I should be doing, I was putting out a video every 5 months, one video every 5 months, or I don't know, just not showing up to events, but maybe once in a blue moon, or I mean, how long do you think I would have 5,000 subscribers? You know what I mean? I mean, it's not it's not rocket science. You got to put in the work. You have to do those type of things. So, and you have to have the proper support system. Like I said, I have some of the greatest mods in the world, Ellie being my uh the greatest mod, not only in my channel but in several other people's channel, and probably the greatest mod on the planet. Then you got people like Jen and people like Matthew, who's in there right now. I really, really appreciate those people, and I never forget that it does take a team of good people um, to make good content and righteous content as well. A lot of people are misinformed and do will do things. They'll basically do stunts to make their channel what it is. I know. I'm not going to mention any names, but there's somebody in this community in the Denver metro area that has well over 100,000 subscribers, but people watch his channel because they want to see the arrest, right? They want to see that drama and that action, and he's given plenty of that to them. But the problem is when you're 0 and 5 in court cases, you're not really doing yourself or your community any favors. If you're somebody like KDOT that's been arrested 3 times, but is 3 and 0 in cases, then that's the type of person that you want to follow and make sure that you give that person support. Somebody like myself that's never been arrested, which is virtually unheard of in the 1A community. That's not to say that it's not going to happen, but at least now I know I got 5,000 people strong that will bear witness to what happened and know that I never break the law. So let's just quickly talk about 5,000. I do want to acknowledge it, but I don't want to stop there. And it's not because I'm greedy. I make very little money on YouTube, but it's because the messages that are going to come out of this channel are going to be pretty profound, right? Whether it's standing up for your rights or taking down a cult or at least putting a dent in a cult, and or at least letting them know where we stand and we're pretty united, then I don't think that there's much anybody can do to stop this movement, right? So I was talking to somebody and they said, usually when you get up to 5K, you're going to get up to 6K, you're going to get up to 10K, you're going to get up to 20, and eventually 100. And it never really was about subscribers with me. Before the Scientology thing, which again I got to give Ellie credit for facilitating that and let me know that I should go help Jay and it's a natural fit and all this stuff. Um, the channel was fairly stagnant. It was slowly growing. There was a trickle of people. It was always going up though. That's the thing. It never went down, right? It just slowly trickled up. And the reason for that is I don't buy subscribers. I don't bullshit subscribers. I don't try to do the sensationalist things. And another unique thing about my channel is there's very little editing on my channel, and that's something that other people take advantage of. They will edit their videos to make themselves look better and make other people look worse. And I will never do that because how can I get better, right? This is the thought process behind this. How can I get better if you guys can't see my mistakes? How can you, how can you um even fathom supporting me if I don't give you guys the opportunity to give me constructive criticism? It makes no sense to me. It's counterproductive. So those people that have 100,000, 200,000, and there's a lot of legit ones on YouTube. I'm not gonna lie, but the ones that do sensationalist things and make themselves look better and everybody else look worse, how strong of a platform is that for them, as opposed to the way that I'm doing it? Where I each and every one of you is a solid piece of foundation that I can, you guys can prop me up. I mean, I know each and every one of you is solid. Each and every one of you is getting the proper information one way or another. If I mess up, you guys are going to let me know. If I do good, you're also going to let me know. So that's how this channel is going to grow, is by word of mouth, by keep doing what I'm doing, staying true to you and to myself, and never losing sight of where I started, right? Remember, the goal was 50 subs, so now we're 1,000 times that. My Tony says 2% of 8 billion is a lot. No, no, no. What I was talking about, Tony, is the amount of crime is actually way less than that. If you look proportionately, there is crime. I'm not saying, I'm not jaded. I'm not saying there's no crime, but of all the crime in the United States, 2% is solved by the police of that crime. So only 2% of all the crime in the United States is solved by police. King Bluto says the old saying goes, you learn from your mistakes. King Bluto, I've learned a lot. I've learned from my mistakes, and I will continue to make mistakes, but it's up to you guys to hold me accountable, just like it's up to me to hold myself and others accountable, right? I would be a hypocrite if somebody saw something that I did wrong and I didn't correct that, or at least acknowledge it and try to correct it. You know what I mean? So you're right, King Bluto. So let's talk about the future of the channel, and then I'll let you guys get on your way. Um, it's status quo for right now. I will tell you guys, if I'm not on camera, or if I'm not, cop watching or doing other stuff, I'm doing stuff behind the scenes, like putting in body cam request, or putting in report request, or putting in complaints, or stuff like that. That's another mark of a good channel. If you find a channel where the channel owner is willing to um, to follow up with your investigations or your cop watches or whatever it is that you're doing and actually put in the work to follow up and then give updates, that's the mark of a good channel, right? If you're in the 1A community and you're just doing the sensationalistic stuff and you don't follow up, you don't, put in the complaints, or you take time to put in for the body cam footage, or the reports, or the salaries, or whatever it is that you're requesting, then your channel is not worth watching, right? You're not willing to do the hard work for your audience, then that to me is the ultimate sin, right? So I would highly encourage people to follow channels that give you the proper updates and follow-ups, and treat you guys with the respect that you definitely deserve. So um, it's more than that. Obviously, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on my channel. There's a lot going on Jay's channel. But I will say, um, i- I'm gonna keep continuing to do what I do, and hopefully, you guys, by word of mouth, will tell other people, "Hey, there's this guy, this little Mexican dude in Denver, Colorado, that won't stop. He won't stop till he gets the truth." So, hey, Chi Chicana, welcome. Nice to have you in here. Appreciate you in here. Chi, if I'm not mistaken, were you in the law? What is it? The law and crime, or that isn't that where you picked up on my channel, was through law and crime, or something, or was it something different? You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I appreciate you being here for sure. Um, I serve a lot of communities. I mean, the Denver metro area is huge. I used to do a lot of homeless outreach, and the reason that you guys haven't seen lot of that lately is because I lost my food connection. So money is a part of this, right? I told you guys I don't make a ton of money, but any money that I make either goes into gas, or all those reports that I was talking about. They don't come cheap, especially body cam footage. Any money that comes into the channel, whether it is you guys watching it, or if you guys make donations, which I never really ask for, I never, you know, beg for. A lot of people do that too. I won't do that, but I do have a Cash App, I do have a PayPal, and I do have a Venmo. And if you guys ever feel like you enjoy the content, you want me to continue doing what I'm doing, and getting the information that I disseminate to you, well, those are the outlets to do it, right? You can also do super chats and super thanks after the fact, and all that comes into account too. Um, but and I do appreciate it in advance if you do it, but it's never required. I'm never going to have a membership button on this channel. I just don't see the value in that. I mean, if you guys want to donate to me, that's one thing, but I will never force upon you guys membership, so that way you have to pay me a monthly fee. I just don't see the value in it. I don't think emojis are have any value. So I contemplate. I may come out with some merchandise at some point. I've had several people say I wouldn't mind buying a sticker or a shirt or a hat, or something of that nature, and that's something that I may do in the future. But for now, it's just the channel and no memberships. I will never hide anything from you guys on this channel. Any video that I have, I will put out directly to the channel, and I will not hide it behind a paywall ever. So you never have to worry about that. I saw your channel as a recommended video under auditing video. So happy to see you tackle another passion of mine. Yeah. Mexican long hair wig would be badass. Oh, I might do that. Some people did ask for that, Shichikana. Connecting is so important. Communication is so important. Supporting content creators is important. Support MLH for the work he's doing. He's doing it for us. I do, Tony. I do it for everybody. Never say never. No one's forcing anybody. It's supporting you. You support what you're supporting. Yeah. uh, I'll think about that, Chichika. I didn't even think about that. Doing like a wig, selling like a long hair wig. That would be pretty funny. I'd have to sell it with the hat too, because I always wear a hat, Chichikana. I don't think you guys have ever really seen me without my hat. Although I do have a concert video or two out there with me without a hat. Um, so let's get back on track here, and then I'll let you guys go. Again, I want to say a warm, hearty welcome to all the new people, and all the old people that have stuck with me. They're not that you guys are old, but the old school people that have been here from day one. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I always tell people this, and I want you guys to remember this. I not only want to earn your subscription, right? I want to keep it. A lot of people, it's real easy to get that sub, right? Give me subs, and they never want to really they earn the subscription, but they never want to keep the subscription, and that's part of what I'm trying to do. I'm earning um, more than a subscription. I'm earning your trust, and you can trust that I will continue to do what I do. Will I make mistakes from time to time? Yes, but it's the willingness to recognize those mistakes, correct them if you can, and move on and move upwards. And that's what I plan on doing with this channel. So the channel's not going away anytime soon. Um, there were a couple of those rumors out there, but I squashed those pretty quick. Um, it's business as usual. But just understand, if I'm not doing, like in the next few days, if you don't see a video from me, it's not because I've forgotten about you guys. It's not because I'm not thinking about you guys. It's because I'm working on something. I'm always working on something. It's either an investigation that I'm doing, or it's, a video I'm working on, or it's putting in requests. It's doing all the behind the scenes stuff that takes up a lot of time. I always tell people I don't get paid a lot of money to do what I do, but I feel like I have like two full-time jobs because I'm always doing something. But memberships help grow the channel. If you change your mind, I'll become one. TCD says. I just don't know the value that doing memberships could provide you, TCD. I know it grows the channel and stuff, but is that really organically growing if you're asking people to pay, for your content? I just think that it's just awful presumptuous. You see what I'm saying? King Bluto says what you do is you construct a hat. Through the back of it is long hair. King Bluto says yes. I'm excited for what's to come, MLH. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. Stay tuned because I've got a lot on the burner. We still got Fallout from RTD that I'm working on. We still got Fallout from Scientology that I'm working on. Jay and I are working on. So stay tuned for all of that. There's stuff that we can't talk about. Like there's just stuff that's going on, and trust me, there's always something going on in Denver. I'm also working on getting information about other officers. There's the whole Robert Wong officer, Aurora officer situation with KDOT that I'm working on. I just had a meeting with the Aurora police chief with KDOT, and there was a lot of interesting things to disseminate there. Too much to go over right now, but I'm hopeful that this new chief is going to do the right thing. We had a very productive meeting, and I hope she follows through with a lot of the things that she said in that meeting. I hope she really takes it to heart, which it does seems like she's doing. I can't really speak on the Wong situation, but it is a situation. For those who aren't in the know, there was a cop that decided to dox KDOT on a live stream, and both my live stream and his live stream are private right now because can't have that. You can't have KDOT's pretty much his address be out there for people to show up at his door and possibly potentially hurt him. That's not how things go. But there's more on that. And trust me, there's an ongoing investigation on that. There's an ongoing investigation on the Scientology misuse of 911 calls going on. And there's also an investigation going on, an internal affairs of investigation going on with the RTD, the Regional Transit Police, that assaulted KDOT and I. So there's a lot going on. I can't give you guys a lot of information right now because here in Colorado, we can get body cams, we can get information, um, 911 calls, et cetera, et cetera. I know it's harder in LA to do that than it is here. But when I get that information, I'm going to relay as much of it as I can to you guys. So you guys are just going to have to stay tuned. A lot of times it takes months for these things to come through. So, you know, it's going to be some rough, rocky waters ahead, but I've navigated these rough waters several times before, and I always get the information. Sometimes it's incomplete information, but I will get it, and there's some potential um, law violations and other things that I'm not going to get into right now. But just understand that it is going to take time, and it could take months in order to get the information that I need to disseminate to you guys. But I'm not done with the transit police. You guys saw that video, the Smurf video that's just going off. I think it's up to 40,000 views now. I don't know how it caught the YouTube algorithm, but it did. And I appreciate you guys for watching that video and commenting. Mostly it's been positive. I have had some comments about the language, and, cops are, a lot of bootlickers out there that just, no matter what, the police are always right. There's that saying, back the blue until it happens to you. But I'm one thing about me that most people that have been around for a long time is I'm vigilant, and I will get the information, and I will, try to make the wills of justice work in our favor, not in the government's favor. So, Sweet Sunslice, welcome. Nice to have you here. Sweet Sunslice was out with us over at Scientology. I've been listening, but peeked the chat and saw my Tony. Yes, welcome. Nice to have you all in here. Glenn, good day. Nice to have you in here, man. Appreciate it. Um, Fab Daddy, thank you very much. I appreciate you, man. You want to talk about old school people that have been here for a very long time? Fab Daddy is definitely one of them. So I'm happy to welcome everybody here. It's one big happy family here. There's a buzz around this channel, and I'm fully aware of it. And let's continue to keep that tide going, because it really is growing into a tide, isn't it? Once you get up to 5,000, it's you're put on the map. You might have a little pin needle on that map, but you're on the map. So I guess I'm officially on the map, guys. Heather in the library. I think I said hi to you. If I didn't, hi. Okay, guys. As far as this week goes, today I normally do cop watching, but I wanted to make this short video for you guys, just to thank everybody and thank the main people that have helped me through this. My parents were very supportive. Of course, Bernie. Um, very supportive. Ellie and Jen and Matthew and my fantastic mods. Special mention to Ellie. Without Ellie, I don't think any of this would have happened. If you guys see Ellie in chat, make sure you give her a warm, hello and welcome, and understand that her role and all the mods' roles is very integral to what we're doing here, as well as all of you. Give you guys yourselves a good round of applause, because it's taken a long while to get to 5K, but we're here, and there's no turning back now. The genie's out of the bottle. MLH is no longer the best kept secret on YouTube. But that's okay. You know, That's definitely okay. So, all right, real quickly schedule. Normally Mondays and Wednesdays is cop watching. Today, I think I'm going to take the rest of the day off. I think you guys would agree. It's pretty much a well earned day off. Um, Tuesdays is hot tub on Bernie's channel. You guys can catch me on Bernie's channel every Tuesday at 9 Eastern. Where so tomorrow on Bernie's channel we'll be doing naughty karaoke. I think this week's song is Tom Petty's Last Dance of Mary Jane, which should be interesting. I don't know how we're gonna screw that song up, but we will definitely screw it up. Mondays and Wednesdays cop watching usually, or behind the scenes stuff sometimes. I'll try to put out a video, at least a video a week or two. Um, Thursdays I take completely off. I don't do anything on Thursdays, although the past 3 months or so I've been run ragged doing stuff on Thursdays. Fridays is RP Grinders, twitch.tv/RP Grinders if you like video games, pop culture, or politics. That's the show for you. Runs every Friday at 7 Eastern Time. And the weekends, I try to do requests. It's been fairly chilly here in Colorado, so I haven't been able to go out and fulfill many requests. But if you guys have a request for me to do, make sure you email me, MexicanLonghair@gmail.com. I'll try to get to those requests. I still got a request from, I believe it was Jamie Todd, that request that we go out and do some digging around about skinwalkers in Elbert County, which isn't too far from Denver, but it has to be reasonable. I'm not going to do anything unreasonable. So make sure your requests are very reasonable, and I'll try to hit those up on the weekend. Bernie and I have a lot of fun. We went up to a ghost town. We didn't get a chance to really get out and explore, but it was a nice drive, and it was a nice little fulfillment of a weekend wish. And I will get to Jamie Todd's and everybody else that Rachel, nice to have you in here. Appreciate you. I still don't have your address, Rachel. So try to give me your address, MexicanLonghair@gmail.com. I will destroy that email after you give me your address. I don't keep anybody's address, and send you out the prize that you had won on Bernie's channel. That's another thing. You can win a prize on Bernie's channel. So there you go. Um, let's see. Anything else? I think that's about it. Oh, let me leave you with a message about mental health. I'm big on reminding you guys about your mental health and stuff. So if you're struggling with your mental health and you're having a tough time, you're just having bad thoughts and stuff, reach out to somebody that you know, love, and trust. But if none of those people are available, make sure you reach out to me, MexicanLonghair@gmail.com. I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, or a counselor, but I do listen, and sometimes it's all that matters. But if I don't get back to you in a timely fashion, just remember somebody out there thinks you are their favorite. There's also a national hotline, 988. Dial that number. Somebody will pick up the phone, a professional that's able to help you. And if you're too sheepish to talk to somebody, just text that number, 988. It's good in North America, whether you're in Canada or the United States. And they will text back and forth with you. Just don't do anything rash. Make sure you listen and talk to somebody. Also, you can go on any browser of your choice, type in mental health help, and they will direct you to somebody that can help you with whatever is going on in your life. This channel is becoming one of my favorites, Chi Chicana. How wonderful you are, Emily. I appreciate that, Chi. Um, I'm glad it's becoming one of your favorites, and hopefully one day I'll be your favorite channel. Never know. Okay, that's all I got for you guys. You guys have a great day. Stay safe out there. Just keep watching the channel for videos. It's pretty random. I don't like to let people really know exactly what's going on, because then there's no surprise element to anything, right? So, you know, um, that's how we do what we do. So, But anyways, you guys stay safe. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for all the congratulations. We made it to 5K. It's onward and upward from here. Let's continue the tide. Let's go. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great day. See you guys on the next video.